Good evening from the kitchen, folks. Tonight I'm going to make minced beef in a spicy Bolognese sauce, which I'm going to serve with some pasta. A nice, quick and easy dish. So here are my key ingredients. I've got 350 grams of lean minced beef. I've got a white onion and a red onion. I've got some old El Paso thick and chunky salsa, which is going to add a little bit of zip to this. I've got some peppers in oil, red and yellow capsicum peppers in oil. I've got some large mushrooms which I'm going to chop down, chopped tomatoes, Italian mixed herbs, a bit of paprika for some smoky barbecue-ness, and my pasta I'm using is Penne Rigate. Or as they say in Barnsley, Penny Rigate. So I'm going to begin by chopping my onions. So I've removed the skin from my onions and I'm just going to top and tail them into nice small pieces. So there they are, nicely diced. So my onions are going to go into the frying pan, but I'm adding a little bit of olive oil first. Now in they go. Every good meal begins with fried onions. So it's gas on and heat on. Buff. I'll turn that down a little bit, but I want these to brown before I add anything else in there. So while I'm waiting for the onions to brown, I'm just going to break up this minced beef. I'm just going to use the knife initially, and then I'm going to use my favourite rocking knife, which is just fabulous for breaking things down. I just don't want the beef to be in lumps and clumps. I'm just going to push the onion around to brown it. So the onion's cooking away nicely. I'm going to shake some Italian mixed herbs in there. You can see a very generous amount. Don't be afraid. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with my paprika. And then I'm just going to move this around. Turn the heat down. So now on top of my onions and spices, I'm going to add my minced beef. And that's all going in there. I'm just pulling it apart and then mixing it with the onion and the spices. And keep moving it around so it's all nicely mixed. So I've got these 3 beautiful big mushrooms and I'm going to cut these up into not too big pieces but some decent sized pieces so you get a little bit of chunkiness in there from them, and obviously that's going to give some nice texture. So there's my pieces of mushroom, and I'm going to now just chuck these in to the pan also. And then just as before, I'm going to mix it all together. So here's my red peppers. They're in water, garlic and wine vinegar. I'm just going to use the whole lot. I'm not going to throw the liquid away. So in that goes 2. Right, I'm now going to add a generous dollop of this salsa sauce. Nice amount there. That will do. And now my chopped tomatoes goes on top of that. So what I want to do now is work it all together. Again, mix it in. And this will reduce down and make a nice and meaty and chunky sauce. So the spatagard goes on, and now onto my pasta. So I was getting a bit of water into my saucepan, and I'm going to shake into that some of the pasta. Might as well use it all up. And that goes onto my ring. Ring goes on. I'll start it high, and when it starts to boil I'll turn it down to low. I'm also going to add a little bit of salt into the pasta. I'm also going to add a little bit of sugar into the Bolognese mixture. Now you might think, sugar? Are you crazy? But trust me, if you're ever cooking with tomatoes and you add a little bit of sugar, it really brings out the flavour. It goes very well. So I'm putting the equivalent of 2 heaped teaspoonfuls in there. It works. I'm just going to move that around so everything mixes together nicely. You'll see how juicy it's gone. So everything's bubbling away nicely and the pasta is beginning to soak up the water and cook. I don't want to fully cook the pasta because I'm going to finish it off in with the sauce. But I'm going to get it about 3/4 of the way there. Okay, I think my pasta is now done enough. I'm just going to give it a little test. It's just the easiest way to do it. Spot on. So I'm going to turn my pasta off now. I'm going to drain it in the sink. Steamy. Okay, this is nice and drained. So I'm now going to pour this into my sauce. Add the pasta to the sauce. And I'm just going to push the pasta in because I want it to soak up the excess liquid which is in the pan. And this will end up a nice and solid dish. Right, I'm going to let this simmer for another 10 minutes. Okay, I'm just going to grate a little bit of extra mature cheddar cheese. I could use Parmesan, but I like cheddar. And this is going to go on top. Great, innit? Okay, it's 10 minutes now and most of the liquid seems to have been soaked up. There is still some there, but what I'm going to do now is turn this off completely and I'm just going to leave it for about 15-20 minutes. Okay, 15 minutes later, let's have a look. And look, the liquid has largely been soaked up now. There's really not anything of note there at all. So this is looking good. Time to add the cheese. So I'm just going to sprinkle my cheese over the top. I want to try and give it a nice covering. I don't want it to be too much cheese. I don't want it to take over the meal, but I'd like it to give it a nice cover and melt a bit. So here is now the dish with the cheese on, but I'm not finished yet. I'm going to sprinkle on top of that cheese a little bit more of the Italian mixed herbs, pizza style. And I'm now going to take my frying pan and I'm going to put it under the grill. I've got the grill on a medium heat and I'm going to leave that there until the cheese is melted and gone brown. Now look at that and tell me that that does not look delicious. Because it blooming does. That looks absolutely gorgeous. Okay, it's time to dish up. Oh, it feels nice and solid. Nice and steamy underneath. So just look at that. But as ever, the proof is in the eating. So let's find out. So I'll start with a bit of the underneath stuff, the saucy stuff. Oh yeah. It just tastes like happiness. The meat has got a great flavour. It's really taken on all the flavours from the herbs and the spices. Good stuff. Let's try the pasta. It's just lovely. I can't begin to tell you how happy this is making me. Simple dish, really tasty, really effective. Have a go for yourself. Right, I better not talk with my mouth full any longer. I'll catch you next time, folks. The film that you've just watched is a Moss Home and Garden production. You can find more by going to www.mosshomeandgarden.co.uk. I'd just like to say thank you very much for supporting my YouTube channel and for watching my films. It really is very much appreciated. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel in order to receive future updates about the home and garden films which I upload. You can find my YouTube channel by going to www.mosshomeandgarden.co.uk. Please click on the red subscribe button. When you've done that, a little bell will appear. If you press that also, then you'll get future updates about the films which I upload. If you like my films, if you like my style of filming, then you might also like my travel channel, which you will find by going to youtube.com/Stuart Moss or type in www.mosstravel.tv. Again, if you could subscribe to that channel, it would be hugely appreciated. If you'd like to get Moss Home and Garden updates on Facebook, then please open Facebook and do a search for Moss Home and Garden, and you will find the page. If you like the page, then you will get future updates on there. And if you'd like to connect on Instagram for home, garden and travel photography, as well as some stories, then my username is StuMoss, STUMOSS. If you'd like to connect on Twitter, then my username is @StuartMoss. And if you'd like to contact me about film usage or any other issue, please just email me on stewmosshomegarden@gmail.com. Once again, thank you very much for supporting my channel, for watching my films. I do appreciate it. I'd just like you all to have a great day.